Hi, I'm Kate Solisti. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, A Kinship with Animals, where I share messages from the wild animals that help us remember that we have wonderful teachers and helpers all around us, and how important that is in these difficult times on Mother Earth for us to remember our non-human family. On this channel, I also share stories that I have received or experienced in my almost 30 years as an animal communicator. Today, I have a story to share with you that really outlines the difference between an animal behaviorist and an animal communicator. So this story happened some years ago when I had published a few books in Germany, and a German animal behaviorist wanted to come visit and to just shadow me, to learn more about animal communication, and if indeed it was any different from what he learned and what he normally practiced with dogs primarily, is who he worked with. And so I said, sure, you're welcome to come. And so Jens came, and he asked if he could not only shadow me, but film some of the sessions that I went out on. And I said, as long as we have permission of the human beings and their animals, that would be fine with me. So we did get permission. I got a call from a woman we'll call Susan. And Susan had a beautiful young Great Dane named Maddie. And Maddie was, in her expression to me, misbehaving. She said she has had lots of Great Danes, and they were all so well behaved. And this little Miss Maddie was always getting into trouble. One of her favorite things was to take the toilet paper in her mouth and toilet paper the entire house. Drag that, drag it all around the house from room to room until the roll was empty, and she would, plop down in a pile of toilet paper, so pleased with herself. And when her person took her outside, they were in an area where she could go off leash, but she was very naughty in not wanting to come back when Susan called her, and for constantly asking Susan to play with her. Not running off in an independent way, but, doing a doggy play bow with her butt in the air and saying, come on, Mom, play with me. And Susan, would get kind of miffed and upset with Maddie. So she wanted my help to understand, why was Maddie misbehaving? So Jens and I arrived at the house, and Jens set up his camera, and I sat down on the couch, and Maddie, as Great Danes love to do, backed into my lap and plopped her butt on my lap with her front feet down on the ground, looking at her mom. We must have been quite a picture of me behind the Great Dane on the couch. And so her mother, Susan, her person, once again said, well, here is my quandary. I have had Great Danes my whole life. They've always been so well behaved, and I never had to worry about leaving them alone in the house. And Miss Maddie is, destroying the toilet paper and getting it everywhere in the house and throwing pillows around. And then when we're out in the dog park, she won't come. She wants me to play with her, and I just don't know what to do. So I tuned into little Miss Maddie, who was sitting on my lap, and looked at her, and I said, so Maddie, what do you have to say for yourself? And as an animal communicator, I do not hear voices. I receive thoughts, what I refer to as a telepathic communication. And Maddie sent me a lot of thoughts. She said, well, here's the thing. I know how to behave. I know I'm not supposed to take toilet paper and drape it all around the house. I know I'm not supposed to mess with the pillows on the couch. But she said, here's the problem. My mom, my person who I love dearly, is too serious. She's always fussing that things need to be perfect and things always need to be in their place. And I feel this tension in her. I am worried. I can smell and feel the chemical changes that are happening in her due to the stress of needing to have everything just so, and needing me to behave in a certain way. And so I'm trying to get her to play. I'm trying to get her to lighten up. I want her to enjoy life and find joy in everything she does. And then that was that. And Susan looked at me And she said, "Oh my God." She took a deep breath and she said, "You know, I'm a retired math teacher. And I definitely like everything in its place. I like order." And she said, "But here's the thing." She said, "Last month I was having heart issues. And I went to my doctor, and my doctor said, 'Susan, you're too stressed. You need to find some ways to lighten your life up. You need to do some things that are fun. You need to enjoy life more.'" And I looked at Maddie, and we looked at Susan, and Susan said, I had no idea. And she said, "Maddie's right. I need to know how to play. I need to stop taking everything so seriously, or I'm going to be in big trouble." And Maddie went right over to her and loved on her, and they loved on each other. And Susan said, "Thank you so much, because I now understand what I need to do, and why Maddie was deliberately misobeying me when I was trying to make her be very rigid and well-behaved and things that I shouldn't have been doing." And so I said, "Well, I think you're not going to have trouble with Maddie behaving anymore as long as you make time to play and enjoy life." And she said, "Absolutely. I know that's true, because Maddie's very smart, and I know she knows how to do these things. It was driving me nuts that she deliberately was not." And I said, "Well, I'm so grateful we could do this." She said, "So am I. She's a real helper, and I'm going to listen." So we left, and as we were going out to the car, Jens was really excited. And he said, "Oh my gosh, Kate, now I get it." He said, "As an animal behaviorist, I would have told Susan, you need to be stronger with Maddie. You need to have more consequences. You need to put her in a crate. You need to go back to obedience training. You need to really be more regimented and be the dominant, the pack leader." And it would have been a disaster, he said to me. And I looked at him and I said, "Yes, it could have been more than a disaster for both of them." And he said, "Wow, now I understand." And I realized this was a beautiful illustration of the difference between animal behavior, which is all about pack protocol and certainly has its place, but what an animal communicator does is we tap into the individual animal to find out what he or she is feeling, thinking, what their relationship is with their person, and why they're together. This was one of my favorite stories about how this dog's mission was immediately going to change her person's life and perhaps even save her life. So I hope you have enjoyed this. And if you are interested in learning more about my work with companion animals, as well as being part of my community, the Harmony Pack, please visit my website, katesolisti.com. Thank you. See you next time.